DJ and PK, it is time for Hot Takes or Toast. Latest college football playoff rankings are out. BYU's number 11, Utah's number 12. Any complaints? John, yeah, that just means they're the first two out of the playoffs.
Not yet, but the playoffs aren't decided today.
Alex, is only one team from the Big 12 getting in then? That is a possibility, Alex. It's hanging in the balance right now. Impossible to know for sure. Texas Tech is in.
Yeah, I don't think ACC will get two. So if they only get one, then you got a chance to get two. Because I wonder if we look back and they'll modify the playoffs so it won't be like a 10, 15-year history, obviously. But when, however long they do it before they expand, if we look back, which may not even be enough evidence to draw any conclusion, if it would be, the point I'm making is if the ACC get two, the Big 12 gets one, and vice versa.
So combined, they're going to have three, and this may be a short-lived trend because it may be a short-lived playoff
so there
system.
might not be enough analysis to really have any teeth to it if it's changed here very soon or next year or whatever. Next year would be soon, too. Obviously, in a couple of weeks would be sooner. But I'm just wondering for now if that's the way it'll end up. And it's not like the committee will assign it that way. It'll work out that way. I do believe the NCAA committee, and I've said this for generations, a little exaggeration, but you get the point, that when it comes to basketball, they know, okay, this league is minimum X amount of bids. Like, for instance, the Big Sky, no matter what, is always going to be a one-bid league. So it's just, there's nothing written down that way, but the Big West is always going to be a one-bid league. We'll see what's going forward with the new Pac-12. But the Big 12 is always going to have minimum 6, whatever.
But the Mountain West tends to be a 2 or 3 bid league.
Yeah, and so
right. And they don't get 5 in the Mountain West.
You go in, there's a preconceived notion there. And, you know, I know people want to argue the metrics. But the committee dude, the new one, because the other guy's out, I'm literally reading what he said. It's really the way they looked that game against Texas Tech. They were dominated on both sides of the ball. And so you can put all the data you want.
But they reserve the right to go to the eye test. Yeah.
And how do you argue with it's really the way they looked?
You don't.
The word looked and look, it's inarguable. There could be a lady or something, and maybe that's too sexist, but I'll go with it anyway because I'm always in hot water. But you walk down the street, and you may think, man, that's a crazy get-up. And I may think, wow, that's outstanding. Now, how do I argue with you? How do you argue with me?
Yeah, I don't know.
You can data me out all you want.
Right.
It doesn't matter.
But how do anybody in anything that's artistic, like fashion, music, shows, movies, TV shows, whatever, like I like it, I don't.
There's certain tasks that I love, and they just appall you completely. And I can't get you to see it other ways because you think, no, it's not happening. All right, fine. To some people, that looks great. To others, that's ridiculous. What are you doing? And once you introduce the word look, you can, and I'm sure if I put in BYU on social media, there would be tons of Cougar representatives who are going to have strength of schedule, who are going to have this, that, all that, the point differential, however you want to measure it out, and they're going to say, but look at all this. No. I watched that game, and that's what I saw. And is that ridiculous? In a sense, yes. Why are we looking at one singular game for BYU?
Because we're trying to get 5 SEC teams in.
And then he goes on to say, then you look at their wins. They have a win over Utah, who's ranked 13th. But their other wins are against what we consider quality wins, are against unranked Iowa State, Arizona, and East Carolina. Okay, so who's considering Arizona to be unranked? Some guy in Oshkosh.
Well, by their own rankings also.
No, not exclusively. They don't come along, and I get your point, so I'm not arguing that, but we've got 2 months of rankings when they step in the room or go on Zoom.
Confirmation.
And that doesn't influence them?
Confirmation bias. I believe it is real, and I believe the AP influences the computer rankings because we argued about this earlier this year. 100%, I believe that the college football rankings people are looking at the AP, and I think they always look at it and think, we're not going to get out of the ballpark, but we're not going to agree with them 100% because we do our things our way. So flip a team here, flip a team there.
So somebody decided Arizona wasn't ranked.
And next year,
because they sucked
if
last
we argue
year.
about this in September, I will argue this again. That the AP ratings don't matter because what matters is the college football rankings, but they do matter because they are setting the tone for the college football rankings.
And if Arizona finishes their season 9-3 and Fafita, who's only a junior, comes back, they will be ranked.
Yep.
So if you beat Arizona, it'll be considered a good win, which I think it is a good win.
Because they're sitting there 7-3 now.
And Iowa State and Arizona both on the road. So you should get a little bit of bump there.
But this all is 5 SEC teams in the top 10. Why isn't there room in the top 10 for Utah or BYU or Miami or it's 5 SEC teams and Notre Dame? There's another 2-loss team we can
Notre Dame is your
about.
biggest beef because Alabama, they beat Georgia, they beat Vanderbilt, they beat Missouri, they beat Tennessee. Now, are those teams ranked now? I mean, Missouri and Tennessee?
I was actually about to check.
Obviously Georgia
I didn't memorize all 25
is.
last night, and they've been getting beat and dropping. So I'm looking right now. Tennessee is now at 20. Missouri's at 22.
Okay.
So they are 7-3.
So that's 4 wins over ranked teams.
They're 7-3 teams that are ranked.
But Notre Dame, you beat SC. And this is a guy who is not from our part of the country, so he calls him Southern Cal. Nobody from our part calls him Southern Cal.
Literally 0 people say that.
So he beats SC. They beat SC at home. Good win. And then a dominating win on the road at Pitt. Who the hell is Pitt?
Pitt is no longer ranked.
Okay, and Pitt
lost to West Virginia.
Their coach comes out the week of the game. This game isn't a big game. It doesn't even matter, essentially. He said that. Narduzzi literally said that. And now you're going to tell me that's a huge win?
Narduzzi said he'd rather lose by 100 to Notre Dame than lose the final 2 games.
Pitt's trying to get into the ACC championship game. Notre Dame's an independent trying to get in the playoffs. It's a big game to Notre Dame, but to him, it's like, hey.
So why would you throw Pitt out there? So Notre Dame basically has SC. Well, BYU has Utah. And Notre Dame has SC at home. BYU has Utah at home. And you're not supposed to go history, but recent history says Utah's a better program than SC if results on the field actually count for something.
You're referring to 4 straight wins, and I think it's 7 out of 11.
Yeah, I wouldn't have known that, but I just know that they've played them and beat them most recently. And so that Notre Dame is your beef. The schedule that Alabama plays is going to be, on paper, inherently better every year.
Right. And they're sitting on a Georgia win, and that's better than anybody else's win. Oklahoma is sitting on the Alabama win, so they're riding that. They lost Ole Miss. They lost badly to Texas.
Okay,
they did beat Michigan.
They beat Michigan, number 20 Tennessee, and then and then he says at number 10 Alabama. Okay,
so
but he never says
the road counts for them.
Yeah,
but not over here.
Yeah, and he never says, well, SC went to South Bend.
If I were Miami right now, sitting there at 8-2, and Notre Dame's at 8-2, and we beat them, and Notre Dame's 9 and Miami's 13, Notre Dame's in and Miami is out, it's like, we beat them. What do you want out of us? And it's like, well, Notre Dame has better losses. And that was literally the response. And I'm thinking, yeah, Miami's thinking, yeah, to us, we're better. But it doesn't carry the weight.
But you can't just go in one individual game.
Even if you beat them head-to-head.
I think that's been proven. As we get deep into the season, I think that's been proven. So, and the thing about it is, where your argument is, okay, Notre Dame slipped up that day. BYU slipped up that day. Who gets the break?
Notre Dame slip up doesn't matter. Alabama slip up to Florida State.
It matters, but it doesn't matter as much.
It doesn't matter in the conversation between these three about who's in and who's out. It does matter versus...
Can't have between 3.
Among the 3.
Come on.
I've never learned that. Among the 3, it is forgiven. Now, you're right. Comparing them against whoever is slotted 4, 5, 6, it is not forgiven. But in a discussion
the good thing
of...
is BYU, by definition, is a forgiving people.
Okay.
So they're okay with this. They forgive.
Do I want to get distracted by asking about Notre Dame and forgiveness? Not Alabama. They're there to scratch your eyes out.
Well, it depends. I have a lot of family at Notre Dame, and my family history is, we take it to the grave, and then I'll see you on the other side. This will continue.
Was it Alabama-Auburn? Who killed the tree? Was it an Auburn fan?
It was an Auburn fan. No, sorry, Alabama fan.
It was an Alabama fan. See,
Auburn tumors
they'll scratch your eyes out and kill your tree.
Yeah.
They'll poison your tree.
Yep.
No, my family tree is poisoned anyway, so it's no big deal.
Hey-o! Bring it all around full circle. So Notre Dame and Alabama get the last 2 spots, and BYU's out, even though they're all sitting there. Notre Dame and Alabama are sitting there at 8-2, and BYU's sitting there at 9-1. BYU's got a better record. Miami's got a head-to-head victory, but they're on the outside looking.
And then I think the committee, to try to maybe lessen the blowback.
Yeah.
Let's throw the Big 12 a bone, and out of nowhere, we'll put the Devils at 25. Where did that come from?
I don't know.
That was a bit of a surprise.
They're in at 7-3, but Arizona is not in at 7-3. Although, which team would you rather play right now?
Well, they beat Tech. That's why.
All right, they do have that.
That's the best win in the conference.
But they've penalized other people for quarterbacks getting injured, and now they're playing with their backup. They held Florida State out.
Yeah, but then you're going to give them a little bit of a pass over here because their quarterback's out, and so they have their top receiver out, their top quarterback out, their top running back out, their top defensive player out. So we'll throw them a bone here, and
then when Arizona beats Arizona State, we'll throw Arizona a meaningless bone at the end.
And it won't matter at the end anyway because that'll be the end of the season for both teams.
So there we sit. Not surprising at all. Push came to shove. They found a reason to put Notre Dame and Alabama in, and found a reason to leave BYU, Utah, Miami, and Vanderbilt just outside the line. Now, as much as we're sitting here waiting for one team to slip, if USC beats Oregon, what are the odds USC starts jumping people?
They should.
They should jump Vanderbilt, Miami, Utah, BYU, and get in?
You asked me, should they jump people? I said yes.
Okay.
Now you want a specific when you provided specifics, and I'd have to look at it.
Okay. Well, that's another segment because we're up against break time anyway.
I know.
So, but we got the rest of the week to consider that. As much as Utah and BYU would love to see Oregon lose, as much as BYU, Utah, Miami, and Vanderbilt would all love to see Oregon lose and open up a spot by giving them a second loss, and that's a team that isn't sitting on a bunch of marquee wins, to be sure. I got to wonder if USC would just swap places with them. DJ and PK, it's 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.